Hey guys, welcome back. Robocraft Early Access coverage. This is episode 57. I'm Enigmius, and today it's the Spider Bee Mark II in action. Crawling up a wall, as spider bees are, prone to doing. Having a lot of difficulty getting into the swing of things with this bot because it's very, very sensitive. Trying to get from airborne to on the ground safely. Very, very tricky. The legs aren't responsive as I remember them being. Having them on the front used to be enough. They would kind of, if you landed, pitched down a little bit, the legs would extend and they would kind of pull the front of the bot up and then the back would settle down, and it tended to work pretty well. I think the physics with the momentum has changed. I noticed this with Pretty Hate Machine with the thrusters and just basically overshooting a corner. I showed that in a video. I just basically ruined the passage around a corner and wound up going face first into about 6 enemy bots because the momentum was just, I was trying to turn and the momentum said screw that. You can see just like that. That was me flying into a wall. But it's very, very, there's a decision-making process when you're trying to land one of these bots. I know people who don't use these bots like to criticize the piloting in the comment section. You're approaching your landing position and you've got one of two choices. You either have to nose down to actually contact the ground or overshoot the place where you want to land. If you nose down and you nose down too steeply and you're going too fast, the bot flips over. It's very, very difficult at times to land exactly where you want to, no matter how careful you are about the approach. And in fact, I've actually added 2 thrusters to the back of the bot facing backwards, so that if I'm flying forward too fast, I can hit back and the thrusters will fire and actually slow me to the point where I can actually come to a dead stop in the air and then just literally drop to the ground if I time it right. But they take a very long time to reverse my speed. Now here's kind of the worst case scenario in an Overwatch situation is, you can see we've got 2 friendly teammates to the left of my targeting crosshairs, and we've got 3, well, 1 right under my crosshairs now, and then 2 more to the right. And that's what's left of our team. None of them are challenging these guys in the cave mouth. So every time I step forward to take a shot, all of those guys are immediately onto me. There's nobody else for them to shoot at. So this is kind of one of those situations where I'm looking at the little red exclamation point. What I should have done was relocated because it had just about worn off, and if I had have relocated at that time, things might have worked out a little bit better. You can see they spotted me again as soon as I came over the ledge. They got a couple of shots on me. I'm missing guns. I'm missing all of my guns. At this point, I'm also missing a wing, which makes controlling the bot very, very tricky. So I'm trying to relocate here, but I'm spotted. They can see my nameplate moving around. So there's nothing sneaky about what I'm doing anymore. And with no guns, all I can really do is either head back the other way and try and cap, or try and find a medic that might be able to heal me and get a couple guns back on the bot. That ain't gonna work. You can see that guy just evaporates. I don't know why this guy doesn't shoot at me. If he's in hunting mode for 100 kills, I'm defenseless, moving away from him, and he hasn't fired a single shot at me yet. Plasma from someone else hits me, and that SMG still hasn't touched me. It's just strange. Everything is strange. The whole world is topsy-turvy. You can see, again, normally those legs would have kicked out and grabbed hold of something and pulled the bot down, but it just kind of teeters on one leg, and you're like, oh, crap. Not this again. There's only so much we can do. So Spider Bee kind of, it's tough to say. I want to say let down by our team. I wasn't able to take on an Overwatch role. I was well positioned to support our team in that very normal position at the cave mouth, but our guys just kind of evaporated. Now this one ends up being short, sweet, and embarrassing because, again, I have this thing when I'm in this role, kind of wanting to get it set up early so that I can support my team in the early game and try and make a difference and turn the tides early before everyone starts getting crippled and back into this healing circle jerks, hiding around corners and all this other stuff. So without really stopping to see which direction my team was going, I decided I'm going to go over this way and we're going to, hope to catch some early targets on their way by. Our guys go up mid. That's basically, they all just kind of go up mid, except for the people who decide to kind of go around the west flank. Very difficult to be a sniper on the west flank because of all the glaciers in the way. All the bots that are on the ground have unlimited cover, basically. They can kind of scoot out into the open, take a few shots, and then they've got a choice of 3 directions they can go, and all of them lead to cover within a second or two of movement. So usually when I'm looking for a spot to start out, this is where it is. If we go to the rock formations in the middle there, you can see that big one just off to the left of my crosshair. Not bad places, but very easy to get seen and shot at. And in this case, I used my reverse thrusters. There was an error on my part. Not even so much, it was an error in judgment and an error in holding down the wrong damn key. And the whole enemy team, not all, 4 or 5 bots decide, now's the time to go flank the railgunner. And we're going to end his match early. That was the match. It happens. One little error, the bot flips over on its back, and there's no recovery. It's pretty much game over. Even if I, had landed on my feet, that number of bots coming after me when I've only got 3 guns and a 12-second reload is pretty much game over. So now I decide we're going to move up, take up an Overwatch position way up top here, see what happens, see what takes place. Ended up being one of the more frustrating situations that we could have encountered. Very, very dangerous as a railgunner in the past when we were using the original Spider Bee, coming up here because there were a lot of plasma bombers and they were very, very dangerous, and they would basically come over this ridge and blam. Like one shot, all your legs are off, half your wings are off, 2 of your guns are off, and you're just sliding down the hill hoping wherever you land is going to be near a medic. In this case, I'm choosing to be a little bit cautious. You can see I'm worried as much about my own surroundings as I am about what's going on in the tunnel beneath me. I can hear all hell breaking loose. So I decide that I kind of want to get down here and at least make something think twice about coming this way. If I can tie up one bot while my teammates are doing something down here, that's one less bot they have to think about. I'm kind of doing my job. It would be better if I was killing the bot, but if I could just kind of discourage him from joining the fight with the rest of my teammates, then that's not too bad. Take the shots that I can get, wait to reload and cover, peek out again. And again, I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on what's going on around me. I don't want to get flanked. That's a very, very common thing, especially with the changes to hover mechanics. They have a much easier time going up sheer walls and flanking elevated positions. It's a little bit of kind of odd, but it happens, and it happens a lot, especially because hovers are the best of all the worlds in terms of mobility, getting around. They're fast. It's hard to say anything bad about hovers. They can't fly, and they kind of wobble a bit, so you can't really make rail vehicles out of them unless you're careful. But they've got a lot going for them right now. This guy down here, this is kind of like ground sniper versus more diverse landscape sniper. He's got more guns than me because he doesn't have to have all the movement stuff attached to his bot, and he doesn't have to balance it and all these other things. I've got the benefit of much better cover, and I can kind of stick out, shoot down, pull back. He's got to go up and down the hill, but he's not even doing that. He's just kind of sitting there waiting for me because he knows he can. It's just the timing. He shoots while I'm getting into position, and then when I'm pulling back, waiting to reload, he's sitting there waiting for his reload to finish. He's got the advantage of position on me right now, but I'm kind of looking at this as how many of these shots can I take before I just kind of evaporate? Not realizing at this point that my team has basically been completely demolished. They haven't managed to score a single kill, and they're all dead. Every damn one of them. It's just, there's something wrong about that. So here comes the flanking SMG hovers. I wish I could say that doesn't happen often, but it happens a lot. Flanking SMG hovers, flanking plasma hovers, they just kind of creep up the walls, and they're there. So, you can't have a sad story all the time to leave these things off. We have to do something that's not a complete embarrassment. This is just the time of day when things go wrong. A lot of things go wrong, and it's a question of What can you do to correct it? Can you do anything to correct it? What would you need to correct it? And a 3-gun flying rail walker kind of limited in terms of how many things that I can do to correct a situation going badly. This was a case where you could see our team moved out and set up in the very traditional positions very quickly. I come over and I was trying to land on that platform, and again, it was one of those things where you either overshoot it, which I did, or you nose down and you risk flipping over. And I didn't really want to risk flipping over because that's very, very frustrating that early in a match to be flipping over. I do have a flipper on this bot now, by the way. It's happened so regularly that I flip over. But I didn't want to push my luck. And in this case, I felt it was better, given the number of vehicles that were coming over the bridge, that I kind of lay low a little bit. Keep an eye on the cave mouth for opportunities to shoot targets there. Keep an eye on what's coming over the bridge, because it's very easy if I advance too far down the cave mouth to get flanked. See, we got a guy over there that I can't really hit. And I'm looking at it also, and it's a bunch of our SMG bots are chasing this guy at 11% chassis. It's kind of a dick move for me to shoot that bot. Even if I had kind of taken the time to line it up, shoot it, I probably would have destroyed it, and then one of these SMG guys is denied a kill. You know what, it's not that important that I need to get after him. 11% chassis, he's not really a threat, so I just left it. And that leaves me available to do horrible things to this guy. It's very, very gratifying. I kind of feel like 3 guns might not be enough. And some of you are like, duh. There's a limit when you're looking at trying to create a bot that survives in an Overwatch scenario between how many guns can I make a difference with versus how many guns can I fit on a bot without making it so huge that you can spot it from across the map if it just so much as twitches in the wrong direction. I chose for the slightly more compact route with the 3 guns. I could see myself going to 4 guns if I could work out a way to fit it on that wasn't a complete mess. Now this guy over here is just kind of sitting there shooting, and that's not okay. It's just not okay to sit there and shoot with impunity. So I shot him, and basically everything on his bot that was important fell off. Just with that one shot. That's always kind of fun. I would have been even happier to kind of finish him off, but as it was, he was in rough shape. I'm actually looking at the rosters at this point in the game and saying we're actually doing not too badly. And then there's this guy, the ejection seat. Flying around. I've learned not to really go too crazy, insisting on firing all 3 rounds at this guy, hoping to hit him. If I don't have a clear shot, I'm not going to take it. We're better off at this point. If the SMGs want to chase after him, a potential extra kill to their tally, that's one thing, but I'm not going to chase after him. I'm in a better position to actually just go cap, if that's what it comes down to, than to chase after a little ejection seat that's flopping around spotting people. Now we've got a guy down in the gully. We're going to see if we can't finish him off. We don't know exactly where he went. He was kind of flipping and flopping all over the place too. But at this point, the match is pretty much academic. So what can I tell you? I don't like this bot so much. The legs aren't responding the way they used to. The momentum is much more difficult to manage. And I've come up with a better idea. See, it's one thing to say I don't like it and kind of be stumped and say, damn it, that sucks. But it's another thing if we have a better idea. And one of our viewers came up with the name, suggestion for this, of Panther Bee, which I really liked. But this was already named. Except I have, with that new idea, something where Panther Bee will be a more fitting name than Spider Bee. And we're going to start the build on that in the next episode. And hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to control without sacrificing the mobility that we need to really kind of move around. It was to the point where this was so difficult to control, I didn't want to move because the landing was so unreliable that it could go badly even if I thought I did everything right. So next episode, and probably the episode after that, will be the build on the revised Spider Bee concept, the Panther Bee. And then we'll see if we can't get something a little bit more stable getting into matches. So if you want to be notified when I add that and other videos, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe to my channel and or follow me on the social media. Links for social media are always in the information section below the video. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.